The Acolyte. We all knew that this is gonna happen. Just from the trailer alone, everyone instantaneously understood that this is gonna be Disney Star Wars' worst show ever created by a landslide. But we honestly did not know that it's gonna be this bad. How many opinions you hear about The Acolyte? Every single time you hear something new brought up, why it's bad, and it's 100% on point. How many opinions? That many on point bad things about The Acolyte. It is a never-ending river of reasons why The Acolyte is an absolute failure.
But if you can't look and see that Anakin blowing up the Death Star possibly killed millions and millions of people, I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this right now.
You should just shut up.
I would say arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable
Definitely.
margin. And
Definitely. Also, the funny part about Anakin blowing up the Death Star is that they doubled down on that. They doubled down on that real hard. They said it again.
are you excited about that? Are you bracing yourself?
Star Wars. Nothing.
It's pretty gay, let's be honest.
Well, Anakin just a whole Death Star. How many people died on that?
First of all, the thing.
Yeah, told you. They doubled down on that. And it's true. Anakin... It's true, the Death Star did get blown up, and I'm sure there were some good people on board, but that thing would have killed more, and they're kind of completely ignoring the fact if you don't blow it up, it's gonna kill more people than the Death Star blowing up itself. And those are actually innocent people that they typically kill. Yeah, so, great fun, great stuff.
That we really aspire to constantly is quality.
In a very woman-centered world, which I was very excited to kind of be in that, because I feel like Star Wars is very, like, patriarchal.
Look, y'all.
I wanted her to say yes. Oh, that's the best part.
Bad Batch is the
We truly live in trying times.
The worst part of a new Disney Star Wars outside of the show itself is the discourse that surrounds it. We live in an odd age where TV and movie critics don't criticize. In fact, they champion and celebrate said.
Well, to be fair, they're getting most likely paid for championing and celebrating these things, so at least someone's making money.
Major release, leading to a polarizing disparity when you look at Rotten Tomato scores, for instance. The critics say it's a solid 90. The fans say it's 26%, but by the time...
Now it's 16. Wait, okay, let's check. Let's check, has it fallen below 16%? The Acolyte Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see. Is it below? It's 15. It's 15% as we speak. Critic score still 84%, but the one that matters, 15%, baby. That is truly epic.
Time you see this, it's probably dropped to 20% because episode 3 came out and it was the whole forces female thing, and yeah. Needless to say, the critics on
my favorite episode, by the way, by far. And episode 4 is gonna be equally good. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Rotten Tomatoes have been taking crazy pills.
The performance overall are more
What? The performance is okay.
It's too early in the morning, sir!
Well, honestly, say what you will. Say what you absolutely will. But the performance is, yes, it is more dynamic compared to Ahsoka. Because, man, that was just horrible, okay? Listen, hey, the Acolyte is still shit. The fighting is still kind of, meh. All in all, you can even an untrained eye can tell that there's something really, really wrong with the way they actually do things. And that's because it's obviously sped up and it was done in slow motion. But at least it's better than Ahsoka, where it's and it's like slow, big motions, theatrical nonsense, gobbledygook. Oh man, Ahsoka. Say what you want about the Acolyte, but hey, Ahsoka was eating the true slop when it came to fighting. The Acolyte is only in second place when it's about fighting, but the Acolyte is obviously worse in everything else, and that doesn't say much, and that does not make Ahsoka good, by the way.
This is too
The performances overall are more dynamic, the writing more engaging than usual for Disney Plus, which keeps the series from dragging like its predecessors.
The performances overall are more dynamic, she says. For God's sake.
This is one of my favorite parts in episode 2. She hits it, doesn't work, forces magic at the end of the day, and we all know it. Then she tries to hit harder, does not work. What does our genius do? Well now, I'm glad you asked. She pulls out a knife, and as we all know, butter knives beat space lasers of Jedis. And she tries to stab, and surprise, surprise, it doesn't work. So our marvelous, great, smart antagonist May resorts to her final solution. An upper flying eagle kick. And surprise, surprise, it doesn't work, and she falls on her face. What a great scene. What an absolute great scene.
The dude from Squid Games learned
There we go.
To play this role, meaning that his command of the language is tenuous at best, which is why he always looks like he's confused as the president.
He looks always confused because she's supposed to be the smart, not the smart, but the wisdom-filled Asian character. Ah, yes, the Force does Force things, then he sips tea.
Whenever he delivers his lines.
When diversity gets retarded.
While the Acolyte is mostly able to skirt by given how well its casting sells the emotional context of each scene, the degrees of narrative withholding Headland is attempting here.
I would argue the acting's horrible. Again, May literally has like one constipated expression, and that's kind of it, honestly.
Here threatens to undermine a lot of this otherwise strong character work.
This is a positive review?
Yes,
character
Carrie-Anne
work.
Moss was in the show for a whole 5 minutes before she died to a pocket knife.
Not gonna lie, don't really care that much. Well, what do you want to do? See her more and get destroyed by this show even harder?
She really sold the experience by standing in silence the whole time before collapsing to the floor. She must have had a flashback to The Matrix Reloaded, where she also picked up a fat check to star in a pile of shit. And
I still need to watch that.
she probably thought to herself, I really need to fire my agent. You and me both, honey.
The Acolyte is a new era for live-action Star Wars that presents a challenge for audiences to invest
It is a new era, he ain't wrong about that one.
in. But this is old-school Star Wars, action-packed,
Old school Star Wars, action-packed, yep, I believe that 100%.
full of unique and intriguing characters.
Most of you watching are gonna go, the f is that? That's what you deserve. This is who I am. A clown!
It's a new era for Star Wars, all right. One where people don't care and Disney can't make money. It's a challenge to any audience with an IQ over 70 to get invested. So he isn't wrong there.
A promising, if flawed,
Now, the problem with your audience aim being people with 70 or 80 IQ, those are the extremes, and there's not a lot of people there.
entry.
Mel's checked in clear.
The show refreshes the franchise by remixing some of the film's more potent archetypes while remaining accessible to neophytes.
I have no idea what the sentence even means. What was the attempt here?
Lily, you are verbally dexterous, but Zoomers don't care about this show, nor do you.
The critics on the internet were so far out of touch that a journalist on Forbes wrote a disillusioned article titled,
And he took it down in less than a day.
The critics must be crazy. The Acolyte is just another mediocre Star Wars show.
He also coined an amazing phrase that sums up Disney Star Wars perfectly, and I
Did
will
he?
be stealing it. And I quote,
I've written about this before, and I'll say it again. Relentless mediocrity is what's killing Star Wars, and Marvel, and DC. And so
I wouldn't say it's relentless mediocrity, it's just constantly pushing a message, constantly caring about representing some kind of lame social situation in real life that affects like 0.1% of the world's population. No one cares about this shit. And they're making a very consolidated effort of pushing it at the forefront, and then they call themselves unamazing. They pat each other on the back in a circle jerk, and there you go. That is the problem. These people are absolutely out of touch. You know what's the worst part about lesbian Hedley? It's the fact that there is an actual chance that she legitimately is a Star Wars fan. Yeah, I'm not kidding. There is a chance that absolute abomination, ex-hand secretary or whatever you want to call it, Harvey Weinstein, is an actual Star Wars fan that has played Old Republic and other things like that. And yet this is the slop that she produces while being a real fan. Now, I don't know what's sadder, her lying about being a Star Wars fan, if that's not true, or the fact that you are a Star Wars fan and you make this and you think it's blissfully wonderful. This is insanity.
So much of pop culture.
He's not wrong. Right now, these companies have these intellectual properties that are technically worth billions of dollars. Due to mismanagement and constant need for equity and inclusion, they're taking beloved franchises, stories, and mythology of Western culture that's already done for you, just adapt it, and then they bastardize and twist it and wonder why it's not flying.
Titties. Incorrect.
He took the time to highlight some more
How is that not the answer?
amazingly out-of-touch publications' takes on the Acolyte. These people are either all about the message, or they're attempting to get on Disney's good sides in hopes that they'll, I don't know, probably get paid off to write some nice little articles. Who knows?
No one can honestly look at Acolyte and say it's genuinely good. You'd have to be crazy.
The Acolyte.
Now, to be fair, there are crazy people. There are people who think Starfield is a good game. There are people who think 76 is a good game. There are people who think that retail World of Warcraft is in a good place. There's a lot of people who eat the slop. And you know what? If you're eating the slop, that's fine. I myself am a bona fide professional slop eater, honestly, as all of you are, if we're being completely honest to ourselves. But the difference between us and the rest of the kook world is the fact that we can admit, hey, yeah, this thing I'm currently watching, this thing I'm currently playing, is not exactly good. In fact, it's bad. But I have absolutely nothing else to, spend my pastime on. So currently, by process of elimination, this is the best I have. We're just not afraid to say that we are watching, enjoying, playing, or whatever, and it's slop. Other people need the things that they watch to just satisfy their own self-assurance of being the bestest and being special. They need to always watch the correct stuff. They always need to watch the good stuff.
Acolyte presents in its first few episodes a dashing adventure of mystery, action, impressive fight sequences.
Where was the mystery? They themselves, literally in less than 15 minutes of the first episode, completely broke the mystery. It is what's her face actually May or not, because she's not. I forgot again the main character's good side name. Was it Keela? I don't know.
And a cat and mouse game that keeps you intrigued from one episode to the next. Showrunner Leslie Headley.
The cat and mouse game is completely redundantly autistically stupid, because you literally see this in the first 6 minutes of the first episode, how absolutely flawed the cat and mouse game is. It's the fact that every time May, the Acolyte, fights a Jedi Master, she is ridiculously outclassed and gets destroyed by them. She literally is not capable of even putting a damn finger on them. And then the plot just demands that they succeed or escape or anything. And while that's happening, you are watching sped up, kind of lame choreography where there's like a bunch of Shaolin monk moves being performed that are kind of lame because they're still not happening the way you would expect them to. And that's boring. And you can literally see that the Jedi at any moment could just kind of use the Force, plunge her against the ground and take her in. But they don't. But they don't, 2 times in a goddamn row. And I'm pretty sure when the Wookiee finally gets yeeted and deleted, that's gonna happen again. Also, the fact that the Jedi are responsible for May being angry because they're evil, That makes no fucking sense. Jesus Christ. Episode 3, that May's just a psychotic little shit. And you know what's the best part? You know there's gonna be a redemption story when her and her twin most likely come together and finally become one, and now they are the new chosen one. Yeah, that's probably gonna happen, or something ridiculous as that. And then they're gonna have to fight one of their moms, and obviously it's gonna be the black mom because the other alien mom is too white. There you go. Probably the plot. In any case, it's real, dude. You can almost think of anything stupid, and it's probably the plot of what's gonna happen in the next series. I think they're gonna completely try and rewrite everything about the original Star Wars, effectively. One of the things that I think could honestly happen at this point is that somehow we find out that little baby fucking Anakin or whatever was actually conceived by the Force, or maybe that his mom was actually also a scissoring lesbian, and that's how it actually happened, or she was a part of the Witch Covenant or whatever. I can see that happening so hard. I literally can see that.
Best known for co-creator of the Netflix series Russian Dolls, breathes new life into Star Wars universe with
New
the Acolyte.
life.
I feel like I could just vomit.
Leslie Headland has created one of the best Star Wars series to date, making a character-driven revenge story over one relying on copious action scenes, lightsaber battles, or legacy characters to drive the...
Who the hell is even using a lightsaber there? All of the Jedi aren't, because May just says, the Jedi only pull a lightsaber out when they're ready to kill, so are you sure you want to pull out the lightsaber? And they're like, ah, shit, she got a point, boy! She got a point! And then they proceed to use it as a glow stick. I mean, that's what lightsabers are nowadays. Glorified glow sticks and weaker than butter knives. So, I mean, technically they're not really destroying what lightsabers are because that's already ruined. But, you know, still.
Series.
Speaking of show publications, Inverse put out an article blaming fans, yet again, for the failure of another Star Wars series that's objectively bad.
No one hates Star Wars more than those who claim to be Star Wars fans. Sure, the past few years have given the fandom plenty to critique. The sequels splintered the fan base beyond recognition, and Lucasfilm's efforts to expand the galaxy on the small screen have been mixed at best. And in some cases, the criticism is inevitable.
The fans that now hate Star Wars, quotation marks, remember it for what it used to be.
It's not even really hate. People are just done with Star Wars. Again, you can just see Star Wars theory even just looking at it and being like, I care so much about this, but it's just dead. It's just gone. There's nothing more to care about. There's nothing more to be interested in. Everything is gone. And yeah, sure, you can try to apply the most good outcomes of the story and plot lines and what could possibly happen there, but it's not gonna work.
And those people are few and far between now. The older generations that were alive when Star Wars first came out have totally abandoned the franchise altogether. And the newer generations don't care. They'd rather, like, you know, make TikTok videos about their pronouns and puppies.
Of course they don't care, because these people are mental, obviously, and second of all, obviously, there's not a lot of them. So even if they combine their whole goddamn weapon efforts, they don't exist. The fan base of them doesn't exist. They only exist on TikTok because, obviously, I mean, right?
Being kitten self. You better come up with a cat, Jedi, quick!
Stop him!
The Acolyte is not the first Star Wars project to face the brunt of fan backlash, and it likely won't be the last. But the new live-action series is also one of the best additions to the galaxy far, far away in a long time. It embraces...
To be fair, that's true. I am enjoying this a lot because I am a dedicated hate watcher.
decades of nostalgia while also thinking critically.
Listen, I watched the whole of The Walking Dead. My dedication sees no bounds. Fucking Yoda would be proud of me.
On the franchise's legacy. It also might be the most diverse Star Wars yet, and while that's definitely a boon for marginalized fans,
Hell yeah, it's again the most progressive of insert X random BS here.
I'm a marginalized person, I guess, and I think the Acolyte sucks. Just because it's diverse doesn't mean it's good. The writing is bad, the acting is wooden, and none of this matters or is engaging. The show won't make it past one season before Disney will most likely willow it.
whether you know them as the fandom menace or a cluster of blue
Wait, what the hell is Villo? Everyone keeps saying Villo, but I don't know what that is. I completely have missed it. What is Villo? Everyone brings it up, that it's like Villo or whatever. The hell is Villo? I have completely missed that. I'm probably better off not knowing what that is, honestly, but you know, point being.
blue check marks on Twitter. It's impossible to escape their orbit. The same folks that review bomb the diverse swings like Marvel's The Eternals.
Can you imagine how many lives this is going to be saving?
Damn right. And then they didn't do the second part of that, and they killed people. What a time to be alive.
Diverse swing. The Eternals was a bad movie. There was a giant dead god.
How dare you?
Or something. And no one ever talks about it again. Mike Murphy on Twitter pointed this
Well, to be fair, that's kind of for the best.
out.
There have now been 3 Marvel movies that have taken place since the Eternals, and somehow no one has once mentioned how the Earth now has this dude sticking out of it.
The things I want to say about Disney, YouTube would flag me for hate speech against a corporation. That's how stupid things have gotten.
And the Lord of the Rings prequel, The Rings of Power, have now set their sights on the Acolyte.
Oh boy.
The Rings of Power shouldn't even be a talking point. It's a bad fan fiction of a show that cost $1 billion somehow.
It's not a bad fan fiction. It's beautiful. The Rings of Power is as beautiful as killing an ice troll in under 10 seconds.
Hear them tell it the series is the worst thing ever happened to Star Wars.
It's kind of looking like that.
And its showrunner, Leslie Headland, is just as fiendish as Lucasfilm's president Kathleen Kennedy to them. The Acolyte
They actually used fiend in the correct context here. I'm impressed.
Acolyte's woke agenda is something to be feared. It's ruining Star Wars. It's poisoning pop culture itself. It needs to be stopped by any means necessary.
Yeah, we're all militant. Frankly, most people aren't watching it. And if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I wouldn't watch it.
We realize
I would still watch it. Because I can't turn my head away from such an absolute spectacle of disaster. Don't worry, Disney's not getting a single cent of my money, by the way, while I'm watching this.
how ridiculous that all sounds, right? God, I hope so. But if not, let's try this. The Acolyte is not actually ruining Star Wars, but the bigoted backlash is definitely ruining the fun for everyone else.
Who are these
Pretty sure it's just making this better.
people?
Can you fill a room with these people? This article was written by an emotional journalist, so far out of touch with reality that they see all criticism for the show as being some small group of loud, racist people on.
So, what, your typical journalist wrote that? Yes, it sounds like that, honestly.
Line, when the truth of the matter is, The Acolyte is a show that was pitched on a cold call to Kathleen Kennedy, who apparently, it seems, all she really needs is someone with a pinch of clout to give her a show idea. And as long as it's a female lead in Star Wars, you're probably going to get greenlit. No one sees Leslie Headland or Kathleen Kennedy as fiendish villains. They're too stupid. If any.
Well, I do. Stupid people can do a lot of damage. Stupid people can do a lot of the bad stuff. Stupid people can do a lot of fiendish things because they are stupid. Stupid is not an excuse for malice. Stupid is a driving force for malice.
Anything, I would look at them both as wily coyotes with the blank checks for Acme products, which is kind of like a perfect allegory for the current state of Star Wars. They pump a lot of money to a product that just doesn't seem to work, and it only hurts them. But for some reason, they keep going back.
It's not shocking to see something like The Acolyte marred by racist, misogynist, and even
He didn't say shocking, he said socking. Gundam.
anti-LGBTQ backlash. The Star Wars devotees would share multiple bad faith treaties about the series on
Good.
YouTube or tank its audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's just a par for the course at this point.
So saying a minority character that objectively sucks is now racist.
Wait. Which minority character? Because they're all, well, doesn't that make them the majority? Are we talking about the white guy? Have we been full circle and now it's the white guy?
If you thought Rose Tico was a pointless...
There's only one white guy, so we all know who we're talking about, by the way.
It's an annoying character.
Forcefield dude.
You ran Kelly Marie Tran off.
You know, the one that the lesbian witch cult almost made into a vegetable, and the Jedi were like, I'm fine with this. No, I'm fine. Yeah, it's just the white guy.
The internet. Notice how this doesn't talk about like the Raylo fans and how crazy they went for like a few years, literally stalking Adam Driver's wife. Nah, nobody
Man, these things, yeah, they happen.
needs to worry about them. It was the people who said Rose Tico suck we need to focus on.
This is...
Rose Tico did suck. By the way, I still need to watch the last Ray movie. I know I have been saying this for like 3 years at this point, but I will do it. I will do it at some point. I will do it. I will do it.
After all, the same fandom that launched the consistent...
Maybe not this year, but I will do it.
...attacks against John Boyega.
That's a lie.
Kelly Marie Tran.
That's a lie.
And Daisy Ridley.
Get out of here.
The same fandom...
I mean, at least AI can make her attractive in some cases. I mean, AI knows what to do. AI knows what the man wants.
...that were publicly admonished by Ewan McGregor himself when Obi-Wan Kenobi faced similar pushback.
Obi-Wan Kenobi sucked. Ewan McGregor can suck it.
The problem...
He should have put that scene where baby Leia is escaping stormtroopers or whatever the hell it was, and she's like just, you know, running like a child, and everyone's just falling over. And the explanation is that's because she has the Force. It's great. It's great.
The problem is that nothing has changed in 10 years since the vocal minority suddenly cried out against diverse casting and more nuanced storytelling. They have yet...
I'm pretty sure all of the world is against diversity. I'm pretty sure blacks in Africa hate white people. I'm pretty sure Chinese literally hate everyone, including themselves. I'm pretty sure Japan doesn't really want anyone else in Japan but themselves. I'm pretty sure everyone is equally against diversity in this whole goddamn world.
To actually learn their lesson. Their arguments are bleeding into even the casual discourse surrounding the Acolyte. Comment set design and screenwriting have turned into misogynistic microaggressions against Headland.
Microaggressions. Been a while since I have heard that phrase. Good times.
Even critiques on the series have been weaponized by haters.
So if you said that the village with all the lesbians seems small and stifling and devoid of life, that's a microaggression. And it's...
Well, probably, because the thing about microaggressions, I'm pretty sure everything and anything is a microaggression.
It's misogynistic. Holy Christ. Basically, this article is saying, if you can get away from this vocal minority. But how are they a vocal minority? Disney hasn't made back the $4 billion it spent on Star Wars, and it's been about 12 years. That would lead me to believe that...
But Disney is already in debt for multiple billions, so what's another one? You know, it's like the US debt. Okay, it's pretty big, so what's the difference if we add like one or two more to it?
It's not a minority that's sick of Star Wars. Just a crazy thought. Considering almost every new Star Wars show dies after one season, how can we say it's a vocal minority?
Dude, I hope this doesn't die after one season. I need a continuation.
The products just aren't good anymore. There's nothing real in Star Wars. Instead of it being the work of one
I wouldn't even call this Star Wars, to be completely honest. Nothing here any longer even remotely feels like Star Wars.
Passionate man. It's a group of people ruled by committee in a soulless corporation that has no clue what to do with this intellectual property, other than to pander to a small group of people, which I would assume this writer's among. And you're not enough to carry Star Wars into the future.
The origins of toxicity is difficult to figure out. At the end of the day, it boils down to entitlement.
Okay. I think we're done. Thank you, Gundam. You did a great job. Love you. Kiss on the cheeks. You know which cheeks I'm talking about, boy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.